Picture this. I'm standing in front of a cracked mirror in my tiny Chicago apartment, tracing the outline of my reflection with a trembling finger, wondering how I got here. My name's Ashley. I'm 28, a graphic designer with a penchant for clean lines and bold colors, and I've always played by the rules when it comes to love. I believed in the fairy tale, the kind where you meet your soulmate, build a life, and everything just falls into place. And for a while, it did. I met Ryan 4 years ago at a mutual friend's birthday bash in a crowded loft downtown. He was 31, a sales manager with this effortless charm, the kind of guy who could walk into a room and make everyone feel like they'd known him forever. I was smitten from the first laugh we shared over a spilled drink, his hand brushing mine as he apologized with that crooked smile. We dated for 2 years, and last spring we said our vows in a quiet little ceremony under a canopy of cherry blossoms. Those early days of marriage felt like a dream. Candlelit dinners at hole-in-the-wall restaurants, spontaneous weekend trips to lakeside cabins, whispering about the family we'd start someday. Ryan's world became mine, including his tight-knit group of friends. There's Jake, 30, a musician with a laid-back vibe and a mischievous grin that always seems to hint at some unspoken joke. Then there's Mia, 29, a marketing exec who lights up any room she enters, the kind of person who can turn a dull night into a wild adventure. I've always gotten along with them, laughed at their stories, joined their late-night hangouts, but I've never felt completely at ease with how close-knit they all are. Like there's always some inside story I'm just on the edge of understanding. But that chilly Friday evening in November, I didn't think much of it. Ryan and I were at our usual spot, a cozy diner with flickering neon signs, digging into greasy burgers and fries. Over the clink of soda glasses, he mentioned that his friends had booked a suite at the Grand Meridian Hotel downtown to celebrate Jake's latest music gig, Hitting It Big. He looked at me with those warm, hazel eyes, a grin spreading across his face, and said, "Come with us, Ash. It'll be a chill night. Drinks, music, just hanging out. You've got to be there." I hesitated at first. I had a massive project deadline breathing down my neck, and the thought of a late night felt like a weight on my already tired shoulders. My laptop was practically calling my name from the corner of our apartment, mocking me with unfinished designs. But Ryan leaned across the table, his voice dropping to that playful, coaxing tone I can never resist. "Come on, babe, live a little. One night won't kill ya." I rolled my eyes, but his laugh, deep and infectious, cracked my resolve. Before I knew it, I was nodding, agreeing to tag along for what I thought would be a quick, uneventful evening. Back at home, I stood in front of my closet, pulling out a simple black dress that hugged my frame just enough to feel confident, but not overdone. I swiped on some light makeup, a touch of mascara, and a soft pink lip, expecting nothing more than a few laughs and maybe a single glass. So there I was, in the lavish suite at the Grand Meridian Hotel, the air thick with the scent of expensive cologne and the faint tang of citrus from the cocktails scattered across the glass coffee table. I'm nestled into a plush velvet couch, the fabric soft against my skin, sipping on a chilled vodka soda, the ice clinking gently in my glass. The room buzzes with warmth and nostalgia as Ryan and his friends swap stories of wild college escapades and long-forgotten pranks. Their laughter bounces off the high ceilings, and I can't help but smile, feeling the tension of my work week slowly melt away. Jake's over in the corner, strumming lazy chords on his guitar, the notes weaving through the chatter like a soft undercurrent. Mia's twirling around near the window, her playful dance moves catching the light from the chandelier, her giggles infectious as she beckons others to join her. The drinks keep flowing, and with each sip, the atmosphere grows looser, more unguarded, like we're all shedding layers we didn't even know we were wearing. I'm just starting to feel truly at ease when Ryan slides onto the couch beside me, his arm draping casually around my shoulder. His warmth is familiar, comforting, but there's something different in the way he leans in close, his breath brushing my ear as he murmurs, "Hey, Ash, I want you to do something for me." His voice is steady, almost too calm, but there's an edge to it, a weight that makes my heart skip. I turn to look at him, puzzled, my brow furrowing as I search his face for a clue. He just nods subtly toward Jake, who's now paused his strumming, watching us with a curious smirk that sends a prickle down my spine. Before I can ask what's going on, Ryan's words hit me like a cold splash of water. Go over to Jake, give him a hug, and a little peck on the neck. My stomach drops. Heat floods my cheeks and I stammer, "What? Why?" My voice cracks, barely above a whisper, as my mind scrambles to make sense. I stumble back to the couch, my legs feeling like they're made of lead, each step heavier than the last. My hands are trembling as I reach for my drink, the glass cold against my palm, the ice rattling louder than it should as I try to steady myself. I take a sip, but it tastes bitter now, like regret. The room, once a cocoon of warmth and laughter, feels suffocating, the air thick with a tension only I seem to notice. The music from Jake's guitar, those lazy chords that felt so soothing just minutes ago, now scrape against my nerves like sandpaper. The chatter and giggles from Mia and the others pierce through me, each sound a reminder of how out of place I suddenly feel. I glance over at Jake, and he's already picked up his guitar again, strumming as if nothing happened, his smirk gone but his casual demeanor unchanged. Mia twirls by the window still, oblivious, her laughter echoing like it's mocking me. The rest of the group carries on, lost in their own little worlds, not a single glance my way to see the storm brewing inside me. I turn to Ryan, my heart pounding so hard I'm sure he can hear it. My voice comes out low, sharp, cutting through the noise around us. "What the hell was that about?" I ask, my eyes boring into his, searching for something, anything that makes sense. He leans back, his posture relaxed, almost too calm, and gives me a half smile that makes my stomach twist. "Relax, Ash. It's just fun. We're all adults here. I thought you'd be cool with it," he says, his tone so dismissive it's like he's talking about choosing a pizza topping, not whatever that was. My anger flares, hot and immediate, mixing with a confusion that claws at my chest. "Fun? Are you serious?" I press, keeping my voice down but unable to hide the edge. "Explain it to me, Ryan. What made you think I'd be okay with that kind of suggestion?" He shrugs, his hazel eyes flickering away for a moment before meeting mine again. "You're overreacting." It was. The ride home from the Grand Meridian Hotel feels like it stretches on forever, each second heavier than the last. I'm in the passenger seat, staring out the window at the blur of Chicago's streetlights, their glow smearing into streaks against the glass. My hands are clenched in my lap, knuckles pale, as I replay that moment in the suite over and over in my mind. Ryan's voice, low and coaxing, pushing me towards something I never wanted, and the way he just sat there, watching, as if it were all some kind of game. Beside me, Ryan drives with one hand on the wheel, the other tapping lightly against his thigh. He's humming some tune I don't recognize, acting like the night was nothing out of the ordinary, like my world isn't crumbling right here in this car. I want to scream, to shatter the suffocating silence, but the words stick in my throat, burning like acid. We finally pull into our apartment complex, the tires crunching over gravel as he parks. I'm out of the car before he even cuts the engine, my boots hitting the ground hard as I march toward our door. The cold November air bites at my skin, but it's nothing compared to the storm raging inside me. As soon as we're inside and the door clicks shut behind us, it's like a dam breaks. I spin around to face him, my voice trembling but loud, cutting through the quiet of our small living room. "What was that, Ryan? Why would you put me in that position with Jake? Why did you just sit there and watch like it was nothing? Was this some twisted fantasy of yours?" My chest heaves as the questions pour out, each one sharper than the last, my hands gesturing wildly as if I can physically pull the answers from him. Ryan's face shifts, his easygoing mask slipping. He crosses his arms, his jaw tightening as he steps back, defensive. "Look, Ash, don't make this a big deal. I've always been into exploring things, trying new experiences. I thought you'd get on board eventually. His voice is clipped, almost cold, like he's annoyed I'm even asking. The weeks after that night at the Grand Meridian Hotel passed in a haze of raw pain and piercing clarity. I couldn't stay in our apartment, not with the echoes of Ryan's words and that twisted moment lingering in every corner. So I packed a small bag and crashed with Sarah, a dear friend who didn't ask too many questions but offered a quiet shoulder to lean on. Her cozy little place in Lincoln Park became my temporary refuge, the soft hum of her old radiator a strange comfort as I tried to piece myself together. After a few days, I knew I needed my own space to breathe, to think, so I rented a tiny studio apartment on the edge of the city. It wasn't much, just a single room with a creaky bed and a view of a brick wall, but it was mine, a blank slate to start unraveling the mess inside me. Filing for divorce was like stepping into a cold, sterile machine. The meetings with lawyers were mechanical, all clipped words and paperwork, as if my entire marriage could be reduced to signatures and dates. Ryan didn't fight it, didn't even show a flicker of regret. He sat across from me in those beige conference rooms, his face blank, his hazel eyes avoiding mine, and it only hardened my resolve. That night at the hotel, I lost every shred of respect I had for him. I saw it so clearly, how he placed his own fleeting whims above my dignity, how he shattered the very foundation of what I thought we had. It wasn't just a betrayal, it was a revelation of who he truly was, someone I no longer recognized. The emotional weight of it all crushed me some nights. I'd lie awake in my new studio, the darkness pressing in, tears soaking my pillow as I questioned everything, my worth, my choices, whether I'd missed glaring signs all along. I'd replay our years together, searching for cracks I hadn't noticed, wondering if I'd been blind to who Ryan was beneath the charm. The humiliation of that moment with Jake, the way it unfolded in front of everyone, gnawed at me, a wound that wouldn't close. I couldn't even face Ryan's friends after that. Jake, Mia, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this story. This will help us create more engaging stories for you.